So, I want to talk about something that I have not heard a lot of people talk about before, or really anyone. I've never heard anyone talk about this topic, and it's about making videos about people or criticizing people that have died. And I see a lot of people with issues when people make comments about someone that's died, even if it's not recent. They're like, "Oh, that's too tough, man. Nah, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. He dead. He dead. You can't do that, man." And I just think it's fucking stupid. Actually become saints when they die. They don't like if they've done something bad in the past, they don't magically rid themselves of that. And yeah, maybe they can't defend themselves, but also they don't give a fuck that you're making a video about them like they're dead, dude. Their feelings are gone. It doesn't matter if you make a video about them, doesn't matter if you make fun of them. If you care so much about people's feelings, then instead of honoring dead people, you should honor people while they're alive. But as we already know, people don't really like doing that on the internet. And I know what some people are thinking right now. They're thinking, well, what about their family? Their family might see and get really offended and feel sensitive about this stuff. Well, it doesn't really matter if they're dead or not. That's not a moral argument. If you make a video about someone and criticize them when they're alive, their family could see then, and it's going to hurt just as much as if they're dead. They probably won't even see it if they're dead. Their family isn't really going to be looking for videos about them in that situation. It doesn't really make any difference, dude. And I just find it really funny how people they care so much about not disrespecting the dead, as if the dead actually give a fuck that they're being disrespected. Like, you could piss on my grave and it's just impossible to care. How could you care? You're dead, your brain doesn't work. There's no possible way to care. It's way more important to be respectful to people when they're alive than all of a sudden switch up. And let's say you hate someone, oh well, they're dead, so I can't talk shit about them anymore. No, that's when you should talk shit about them the most, because they don't actually care then. They're not gonna have their feelings hurt when they're dead. You should be nice to people if they're alive, if you want to be nice. But if not, then I wouldn't really worry about it if they die. I wouldn't It's not like you have to switch up all of a sudden and be nice. It just makes no sense to do that. And if there's some drama on someone that gets uncovered when they're dead, like, yeah, they can't defend themselves, but it kind of depends. If there's a lot of proof on someone or a lot of like hints that they did do that, like, if people want to criticize, let them criticize honestly because they can't defend themselves, but also their life isn't going to get impacted at that point. So it doesn't really matter. This entire thing of respect for the dead it basically comes from religion. People don't actually care. People don't naturally care about respecting people when they're dead. It's this religious idea that you have to be respectful of them for some reason. They don't even explain that. They just say like, "Oh, you can't be disrespectful." It's just an indoctrination, okay? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make any sense. You're not being moral by respecting that. You're just following the religious script that was kind of born into some cultures, especially American culture. American culture is the most like that. And as we know, the English speaking communities on, social media are mainly dictated by American people. So their values are going to be spread the most, obviously. And another thing is they don't even really seem to respect the dead. They just kind of use that as an excuse to silence you if you want to talk about them or say something that's maybe not extremely positive and rainbows. See, the thing is, it's more nuanced than that. People aren't saints. People are good and bad. Some people are more good, some people are more bad, but no one's perfect. So when you try and act like someone has to be perfect, you're not really respecting who they used to be. You're just pretending that they're something that they weren't, or a show that they put on to appeal to people. See, something I've noticed is death kind of just turns people into symbols. They become symbolic figures, and these figures, they need to be perfect so people are happy with the image that they see of this symbol that they're meant to be representing. But here's the issue: people aren't symbols, okay? They're not meant to be symbolic. People are messy and complicated. and they're not perfect. They can't represent perfectly what an image is supposed to be, what these ideals that they portray are supposed to be. So yeah, I think I made it to 10 minutes or something close to that. So I'm gonna end the video here. Bye.